Hey Maria, what are we painting today?
Eat the cake first.
Hello to all my BPTV friends, Facebook friends, YouTube friends. I'm Alan Levine, the Talking Machine. I'm here to do my 38th Maria's Ideas Teaches Us to Paint.
Thanks, Al. So we are here at Johno's Art Studio in the Pittsburgh Southside Slopes, and excited to introduce you to our new fellow artist, restaurant owner, Katelyn Bako. And we are so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Tell us the name, please.
Yes.
My restaurant is named Dad's Dog and Burger. It's in Bloomfield, and we are a burger and hot dog shop. We do burgers, hot dogs, breakfast sandwiches, milkshake fries, and onion rings. That's the whole menu.
I got to stop in there. Is it near the old St. Francis that I know?
It is. It's right off of Liberty. It's really close to. It's right across from West Penn. It's
I'm
kinda
old
right
school,
in the
so I remember that. So now I know where you're at.
Yep. Right
Thank you
over
for your
there.
directions.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. But she's also an artist, a baker. You do ceramics. I mean,
I do.
Very talented.
Look at her
So-
necklace.
Oh, no, I love that.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yep.
I got my talking machine point.
Oh yeah.
I love eggs. I have
Me too.
hard-boiled eggs every day.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
funny.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
healthy for you, they found out.
I bought this from another ceramic artist out of San Francisco, and she makes little ceramic bolo ties. I just thought it
love
was
it.
so fun.
I love it.
And perfect for today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, you had told me before you grew up in Cali. So you're a
did.
Cali girl?
I'm a California girl. I grew up in Southern California. My mom is from Chicago, and my dad is from Pittsburgh. So even though I grew up in California, I feel like I had those kind
There's
of like
always a
East
Pittsburgh
Coast,
connection.
You got
Midwest
roots here.
roots. I got roots here.
Aw.
And you have a business
And I
now.
have a business now. I always looked at Pittsburgh through rose-colored glasses. I really just,
Yeah.
the people are incredible.
That's
They're
it.
It's so
Thank you.
friendly. The communities
Thank you.
are amazing. Of course.
What's your favorite meal?
Oh, man.
Pick one.
Oh, man. I mean, I gotta say a burger.
All right, we're
Nothing's
going to
better
go
than
to
a good
paint. We
burger.
found out your secret.
Yep.
Let's paint, Maria.
Okay, so let's get started. So we are painting. So I spoke with Katelyn on the phone. I hadn't even met her, but got an idea of what she likes and what she does. So we are painting this. Again, it's inspired by her favorite colors, and she's a baker as well. And I just thought this would work well with you, with your personality. The little bit that I knew about you, so that's what we're going to paint today. So I do usually show everyone, if you have not watched us before, what we did here was we base painted the canvases. I used a fluorescent pink and a fluorescent orange.
Wow,
And
my
just-
daughter would love that.
Yeah, just base painted it, and you'll see why we want that to kind of peek through. Then I printed out the design on paper, same size. But I also, on my YouTube channel, which is Maria's Ideas Art, because you can also view this on the BPTV YouTube channel and on their the TV channel as well. But I have a 10-minute tutorial that shows you how to draw this. If you don't feel comfortable doing it on your own, you could do it smaller, scale it up, scale it down, whatever, and then transfer it onto the canvas board. And this is graphite transfer paper that I used. I just laid it on there. You need to draw over the design, so they're all the same. But our goal here when we paint is to just paint it in our own style. Everybody does have their own style of painting, even if you are not an experienced painter. It is in you, so just keep painting and it will develop and you'll see. So that's what we're going to see, what kind of painter you are.
Yes.
And that's it. So the goal here is just to make it your own. I am going to just teach it to look similar to what we have here, but you do whatever you want to do. All right?
Oh, I'm
Thank
excited.
you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
sure. So we'll get started, and then as I'm done giving each step, just feel free to chat and we'll talk about your place. I loved it. And so anyway, let's get going here. We are using acrylics. So usually I try to limit the colors just so we don't have too many, and I like to mix colors, but we do have black. This is the fluorescent orange. This is a ultramarine blue, which is a little bit warmer blue, which tends to lean toward the purple tones. This is a very deep violet, lemon yellow, not the more of a golden yellow. We want that bright lemon yellow, orange. This is the fluorescent pink and red. And then we have the white in the center. So we're going to start with the cake because the cake is a little bit more time consuming. The background we will do after we have more of this blocked in. You may want to do a different color in the background or multicolors, it's up to you. But let's get started with the cake, and let's grab our 1/2 inch flat shader. Again, you can use a different brush if you choose to, but this is what I'm recommending. And then just wet it. Take that extra water off, just dab it on your paper towel. So I'm just grabbing the orange, just loading my brush, and I'm coming in, and because cake has some texture to it, I'm not even worried about...
Are there 2 oranges here?
They're just the same. It's the same.
I had to ask.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm laying it on, but I'm kind of pouncing it a little bit too to give it some texture. And because this pink is underneath, it's not showing up as bright. And that's okay because we can add, I'll show you what we'll do here. While that's wet, if I leave this orange on my brush and just take the corner of the brush, and I'm going to add some of this yellow on the corner. And let's just mix it in and see. That kind of adds a little bit of, looks like some texture, and we can also do that as we go along. But just to get it started, we will add the highlights and shadows. And then just go along. Keep in mind, there's would that be like maybe like a cream cheese in between there?
Oh, absolutely.
Or something, right? I don't know.
We could call this carrot cake. If you
Oh,
want.
okay.
I love carrot
favorites.
cake.
Is it?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
That's
that
my
works out
favorite
good.
too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
not like a really common popular cake, or is it? I don't know. It seems like a lot of people I know like, oh, carrot cake. I think I like it.
I feel like carrot cake gets a bad reputation. People,
It's
know.
a false reputation.
It is
That's
a false
good.
reputation. There's nuts in there. There's raisins in there. People, they feel a certain way about it.
Because they think it's like tasting like eating a carrot, but it isn't.
But it
It's
isn't.
much
I
more
love
fun.
it.
So
The
much
flavor
better.
is so full.
The spices are so fun, having the cinnamon and...
Oh,
I don't
you're
know.
making
We're
me
gonna-
hungry.
we're
Where
gonna
can
bring
we
carrot
get one?
cake back.
Why didn't you bring
I
one?
know, I should have brought cake.
Your teasing is unbelievable.
Aw. All right, so you can see it just gives it a little variation in the color, but this will dry, and then we will add highlights and shadows. That looks great. That looks really good. And then just come up, we'll do all 3 layers.
All right.
Okay, and then I will come in. You can grab a smaller brush if you need to, but usually, sometimes it's easier with a bigger brush. You just use the edge or the corner as well.
Maria's taught me that after 37
Yeah.
shows.
Oh, I'm sure you've learned a lot.
I'm still
This is
learning.
really-
I'm
oh.
always learning, but I feel like you have to keep learning. When you feel like you know it all, then it's boring, right? And,
Oh, I totally agree.
And with art, it's
Well,
always
I kept my
changing.
childish curiosity, so
Yeah,
my
for
mind is
sure.
open. Keep throwing it at me, Maria.
That's right.
This is awesome.
Thanks. All right, so I'm going to rinse my brush, and you don't have to worry about keeping up. We'll make sure you get finished. So I'm
You know
rinsing
I follow
that.
behind here. I'm good.
Yeah, and now I am grabbing my filbert, which is the curved. This is one of my favorite brushes. Little filbert here, 1/2 inch, but it has the little curved edge. And the reason we want that is when anytime you're doing curvy things, you'll see when I do this flower and the icing, it just helps get you there quicker, right? And it's all about saving time whenever we're painting here. And I'm a very impatient artist, so I don't like to spend weeks on paintings or anything like my husband Johno does. I'm good for about a day or two, and that's it. So I'm dipping my brush in the orange, but I'm also going to add, I have a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white. And what I'm doing here is you can see the brush itself, it just fits right in there. You just push down and pull. And you can see by adding those colors at the same time, I put the white on the edge and a little bit of that yellow and the orange. And just lay it in the petal from the top and then pull it toward the center. And you can see that gives you your petal shape already. It fills it in. And this is all, we're just blocking everything in. We will highlight and shade everything. And then we have don't forget those little petals in the front that are like foreshortened here. This one and this one. And then the center, we could just grab yellow. And often too, whenever I'm painting, typically I'll start with some of the brighter colors first. I don't even clean my brush. I just let them mix as I'm going, right? And it just adds some interest. So you can see that's just blocked in. We'll add our highlights and shadows. And then let's see, I will clean my brush because I want that yellow, bright lemon yellow. Now, for the base on this, I'll show you. If I just take the lemon yellow and brush that on, and lemon yellow, most paints, they tend to be a little more transparent. It's okay, but I feel like I want this to be a little bit more opaque. So for the base color, I am going to mix some white with this lemon yellow just to make it a little bit more opaque, and then I'm blocking it in. And you can see here, I'm just pushing that tip of the brush up, and when you cut in around a shape, if you lay the brush down and just press the bristles out and just move your hand, it makes it very easy to cut in. And you can see I'm just filling that in. You can let some of the pink show through if you want to. It's really up to you. But the white mixed in there is just giving it a little bit more of an opaque base. So we go back over it with the yellow again after it dries a bit, and then it will be brighter because we want this to be, what kind of icing would you have on a carrot cake that's yellow?
You could do a lemon curd on there.
That would be
Ooh.
good, huh?
That would be really
I'll
good.
be up. When are you making that?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, when I make carrot cake myself, I like to put orange zest in the cream cheese frosting.
Oh,
So
my
I love
goodness.
citrus with a
Wow.
carrot cake.
That sounds great.
Yes.
I never had it like that.
Yes. No, I really, it
You've
just
piqued my
adds a
interest.
little brightness to it. It's really tasty. So this
Well, I'm a
this
huge
is
fan
perfect.
of carrot cake since I've been a
good.
kid. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
many, many moons ago.
You know, I actually don't know if there's a cake I don't like.
Oh, really?
I love them all.
My mother-in-law used to say, I never met a cookie I didn't like.
I know.
So I have to say the same thing about
Yeah.
cake, right?
Yep, I love it.
Do you sell your cakes at your restaurant?
I don't. When I was living back in California, I had a little cake decorating business in addition
Did
to
you?
my kitchen jobs, and
That's so cool.
it was so fun. I really enjoyed doing it, and just to be a part of so many people's special occasions,
right.
like weddings and birthdays. I mean,
Right.
it's just the best.
And that's a whole other business, though. I can't imagine how you would do both, right?
no, and I just, I
You can only do so much.
I can only do so much, and at the end of the day, like that really matters to me is being part of a community and
Well,
actually having a storefront restaurant and getting to interact with people on a daily basis. That's even more fun for me.
and
That's your dream come true.
Oh, it really is.
it?
That is awesome.
I just want to say, when I did these other smaller parts, I grabbed a little small filbert, a little
Okay.
1/4 inch filbert. So that was exactly the way we felt. We popped in there. were you on PTL? I think you were on
I was,
Pittsburgh.
yes.
I remember seeing that episode, and we love little diners and mom and pop places.
Oh,
We
yeah.
always go to them. And I said, that's the place, we have to go there. And of course, life gets in the way. A year later, we
course.
finally get in there. And as soon as I walked in, the energy in the place, it's not very large, but the energy, the staff, Alyssa was singing behind she's cooking
yep.
and moving, singing. There were people coming and going. It was, it just felt like that it was like a party going on in the community,
Yep.
people talking,
Wow.
laughing, eating, and it just made you want to hang out there and stay. And that's exactly the way it felt. You could tell the people that worked there were enjoying it. It just had a great, fun vibe. I really didn't want to leave, honestly.
Oh, that's
It was
amazing.
great.
And it's so important to me, I can teach people how to cook a burger, I can teach people how to cook a really good hot dog, but finding the people that care about the
Right.
community and that want to show up to work and sing while they're cooking burgers on the grill.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what makes those places so special, and especially in this day and age where everything is so fast paced and
Right.
high tech, like having that
Yeah,
human
and you're
element.
just outside the city of
Right.
Pittsburgh.
We're just outside the city
Yeah.
of Pittsburgh, and having that human element and just being a space where somebody can come and
And I think we all need that
know.
more than ever. And it is true. People are we're connected in some ways, but we're not connected. There's so many other ways that we still need to
Well,
connect.
social media
in
distracts you
person.
so much.
Right.
for sure.
We're connected, but we're not connected.
Yes.
So we need more of that shareable experiences, I think.
Yep.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's a really great place. I can't wait to go back. So, but
Amazing.
and there was a little dinosaur on the counter with a ketchup bottle in his mouth,
No
and Pillsbury
way.
Doughboy, and all these fun things, and a gumball machine. I'm like, it was just amazing. I loved it.
You
That
got
was the best
gumball
part.
machines
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Finding all the little tchotchkes and the stuff to hang on the wall before we open, that was just so much
Yeah.
fun. And,
Yep.
you know, it's Pittsburgh. I was looking for a bunch of Heinz stuff. I was on Facebook
Yep.
Marketplace. And
That has the history. There's just all
Oh,
these little things,
yeah.
and that's what we did too. We just sat there and like looked around, and then the people coming and going. It was nonstop. Like I thought, wow, they could use a revolving door here, and you know, it was very busy, but it was amazing. And congratulations for creating, and thank you for creating a place that we need like that. I wish you can open up another one over here.
Can you
That
tell
would be
them the
great.
address again since we're talking about you?
Yes, the address is 4830 Liberty Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15224. It's in Bloomfield, right across from the West Penn Hospital. We're right on the corner there. And yeah, just a little tiny restaurant. It's like 10 feet by 10 feet. It's tiny. It's one grill.
It's
one
tiny,
fryer.
but it's so amazing.
But
It just is.
it's really is my dream come true, and being able to create.
When did you first think of doing this?
I mean, I've wanted to do this since I was probably like 5 years old.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
But I
mean,
feel like that shows because you could tell like it's just a happy place. And when you put the effort into anything, right, it just comes through. If it's something you really want to do, and it's just a very special, very special.
No, it is.
No,
really
thanks for
special.
sharing that. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it really is a special place. And when I was younger, I wanted to open up a bakery. And then when I started working in bakeries, my shifts were like 10 p.m. to
Did
8
anybody ever
a.m.
tell you you're very creative?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've been fortunate enough to recognize that and lean into it, and
Yeah.
it's been really fun to live a creative life. And
Oh,
working
yeah.
in bakeries was great, but then I kind of realized that 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. shift
Yeah.
is inevitable, and I was like, well, how can I still do this while also not making anyone work in the middle of the night? And then that's kind of when I was like, well, diners are that way. I can have
Aw.
pies at a diner, and I don't
Right.
have pies at my little burger diner, but maybe eventually, maybe for my next one, if I
There you
open
go.
the real diner, I could have little pies and cakes up front, and
There you go.
I think that would just be so fun.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
No,
So
that is
you're
great.
doing a fantastic job. Terrific.
you.
Okay, so what I did next was I kept this little curved filbert, and I grabbed some red because the shadow, you could see the light source, Alan, yeah, right? You always like to look for that light
Yeah.
source on the left side because all of our shadows on the right. So for this back section, it is in shadow. So no, it's not orange. You could paint it orange and put some darker colors over, but I am going to take orange, but I'm going to mix some of the violet with it and see how I like that. And then we'll just brush that in. And I'm not sure if you can tell on camera or not, but there is a little bit of a variation. It's a little bit bright, little bit lighter. Maybe some yellow is mixed in there, and then some blue, and then the orange, and that the cake.
Let's start with
bottom is
black
there.
there to do that?
Well,
or-
I'm going to start with, and I will use my plate for this. I'm starting with orange. So when you mix colors, start with your, put them beside each other and then introduce them. If you just start mixing them right away, you might have too much of one color than the other. So I take the orange, and this violet, Alan, it's next to the yellow. It looks like black, but it's
Yeah, it
violet.
does.
So you can see, if I do this, you can see it's violet, but
Ah,
it's very
okay.
bold. So I'm rinsing my brush because I don't want too much on. And then what
I'll
I'm going
follow
to
your
do,
lead.
I'm taking the orange again. I just put a little more here, and I'm just going to pull a little bit of this violet in at a time, little bit at a time, and introduce it until where it gets to where I want that. So I want it dark, pretty dark, and it is going to dry a little bit darker. So let's see what this looks like. And the reason I'm not using black, if you want to make something darker, can just make it look muddy and dirty, which is fine depending on the subject, but I want to keep this just still in the same vein with our other colors and not so harsh of the dark black. So let's see, I'm going to brush this on. I feel like it's still not dark enough, so I'm going to take some more violet. And you could see I'm just laying it in there, and I'm not worried about perfect brush strokes. Again, it's cake, right? So it's like bumpy and it has texture. And then I'll come up here, and as I'm moving it up, then maybe I'll introduce some other color. So you can see it's pretty bold. Now up there, I'm going to grab a tiny bit of yellow because it would be maybe a little bit lighter at the top. And I'm just mixing it right in, right on the canvas. So we'll see. And then
This is the advanced class. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like, and then the center one, I have a little bit of the blue tone because the plate is like that periwinkle blue, ultramarine blue. And that might be reflecting up on the cake too. So there's our shadows, and then also you can just lay it in for the, what is it called? The layer, the
frosting,
the frosting or
yeah.
the in between. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's the cake, and then while I have this color on my brush, I'm grabbing the yellow. And I'm mixing that because the drips of the icing coming off the back are yellow. It's the icing that Katelyn added the lemon zest to.
Curd, yes.
Lemon curd, but it's still, I need to dirty it up and darken it up. So I just left those colors on my brush, and let's put that on there. It's still a little too dark. And then again, I'm same brush, and I'm just pulling it, pushing it down. I see if some of these little curved areas, I just push the brush down and let the brush do the work for you.
Okay.
That's why, you know, if you use a curved brush or a flat brush, that comes in handy. And then this line here, this edge of the icing now is darker too. So I have that color on my brush. I'm just pulling that around right here. And I'm letting some of that pink poke through here and there. Why not, right? I think that'll make it fun. Now this is, again, we're just blocking in, but we can always tweak this. And let's see, I think I want to do 20 minutes already. Thanks, Stage Boy. I want to do the layer in between. So I'm taking white, and I just put in a little bit, just a little bit of the orange. I don't necessarily want it a bright white, and I'm coming in here and putting our little layers. Maybe cream cheese, is that what you said?
Yes,
Maybe a cream cheese in there. I feel like it's too white, but you can always maybe add a little bit more in there. So we're gonna get those in there. And then this corner edge is also, this would be that cream cheese because it wraps around the cake, but we really don't see it because it's in shadow. We could do something like this, like just maybe pull a little bit. It just gives you that hint. All right, so this is just blocked in. We're letting that dry. I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to wait to do the shadows and highlights because I want to get started on the plate. So I chose the ultramarine blue, which, like I said before, it is a warmer blue. So if you look at it, it leans a little bit more toward the purple. You could see this is the violet. That's closer. Like a phthalo blue is colder, pretty intense, but we're using the ultramarine blue because I wanted it to lean toward that periwinkle or lavender kind of tones. So to get this, the coloring that we have here, I'm going to mix some white where it's lighter, and I'll leave it where it's darker, less white, just more the true color, which probably is going to look bolder than on my sample, and that's okay. So you can see if I mix some white, this gives you an idea of what it will look like. That's maybe a little too bright. So it's just the blue. There's no violet in here, but it does kind of look like it's in there, right? So so I'm taking this flat brush and I'm laying it up against the edge, and you just grab the bigger brush and you just pull it just like that, and you can see how that gives you your edge.
Okay.
And we'll get you caught up too, so don't worry. You're doing great though. I can tell you're an artist. And even with this, I'm just I'm laying the paint down, but I'm not really worried about it being smoother. You see how that pink pokes through?
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like it adds some interest to it, right? Maybe it's
really
a highlight,
exciting.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm really getting into painting these, blocking in the base colors before I start. You don't have to start with white. I think it's more fun if you start with the base color and then you let it poke through. It does challenge it's a little more challenging if you're trying to get bright, bold color. Sometimes you have to lay some white down or mix an opaque color, but it does work. So on this side, I'm making it a little bit darker. It's a little lighter again because my light source is here. So now I'm just going to finish the plate. I'm looking where it's lighter. I'll come in around the fork. And you could see I'm using this big brush to do the edges because, again, if you just let the brush do the work by laying it down, you could even do it this way. You could do it flat, or you could do it on its edge. And when you do that, see how the bristles are spread out? You just line them up and then you just pull. And that's how you get nice edges. And we'll come in here. And again, I'm leaving some of that pink show through. You could do it any way you want. And I am coming across really lightly now. I'm taking some of this extra paint off and making it more of a dry brush because on the picture, there's some reflection here of pinky, orangey tones. So I really don't want to put too much. I don't want that solid blue because I'll basically have to cover it up again. So I took that, I didn't wet my brush, but I took all that extra paint off, and I'm just going to use a dry brush technique where I'm just letting a lot more of that poke through. And then these brush strokes too, I'm going to come vertical and horizontal because those reflections would be this way too. So this is, I mean, most people, if you're painting this, might spend 3 hours on this. So you guys are doing a great job, but this is 40 minutes. So, you know, if you're at home doing this, you can take your time and put more detail, but we're just showing you some techniques to just do a quick, fun painting. So
40 minutes goes by fast.
it does. We already did 20. I know,
my gosh.
right? That's why I
Wow.
said. That's why Johno always comes out with a little to remind us. So, all right. So you can see I'm doing the dark here, and then I will take now for the edge of the plate. I'm not worried about all the different variations in the color, but I'm cleaning my brush. I'm still using that 1/2 inch flat. And what you want to do is make sure you have that chiseled edge. So I cleaned it and I squeezed it with my finger. And then I'm taking the blue mixture with the white and I'm holding the brush this way on its edge.
Okay.
And then you could see I'm just pushing down a little bit and just pull. Nice. See how nice and smooth that was, just real quick. And what you want to do is you look at where you're starting and where you're ending up. You kind of look ahead as you do it, and you just pull. You just kind of do it quickly. All right. So I'm just going to fill these in, and then you can see these edges of the shadow part too. Let's see. I still have to do in here. I'm leaving some of that pink show through. We'll grab a smaller brush to get these areas around the fork. And so those lines you can see, that's where the shadows are going to be for the fork too, right?
Right.
And then let's see, I'm going to add more white for the bottom area in this left side. And I feel like I'm going to add just a tiny bit of yellow to change it up. It just slightly leans more to a we're a little more of a turquoisey blue, and you can see it because that light source is on the left side, and I just feel like I want that a little bit brighter. And again, I'm leaving that pink. And then I'll take my blue, we're not using just the harsh black, we're taking the blue, very bold as it is, and now I will add the violet, which is very dark, and a little bit of black. So now we want that dark shadow, but we're not just using black, it's a warmer black. And now we will come in, and again, come in and around, leaving a little bit of that edge there, and that's our shadow. And then as we paint, there might be areas where, of course, we have to go over it again. We might have to increase the shadows and the highlights because we did just block it in, so we will do that. But I'm just going to keep painting here and filling this in. But while I'm doing that, maybe what else do you want to talk about? And you're an artist too,
I am.
Obviously. Yeah.
I started doing ceramics after I moved to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I found this wonderful art studio on the north side called Little House Big Art.
I've heard of it.
They're just absolutely incredible over there, and they have a really affordable ceramics program. You can either choose to just paint a ceramic, or you can either hand build yourself from like just clay, or you could spin on the wheel. They have everything available there.
That sounds amazing.
And I started hand building. I obviously love sculptural things. I'm a cake artist. Doing things 3D with my hands is really fun for me. So I was able to start doing ceramics, and that's just like my favorite way to like decompress after a stressful day, or just to be able to make something. And half the time I don't even know what I'm doing. I have to like hold the clay for a little bit, and then I kind of.
But that's the best way. Just do whatever you feel like, right? You probably don't know. That's amazing. And also, even though, like you said, decompress. You do love what you do. But
I do.
It's still, it can get stressful,
of course.
And you know. But that's why the arts are so important.
It's
Art,
so important.
Music, baking, gardening, just doing something with your hands that just takes you away, right?
Yes.
So.
No, it really is the best, and I just love it, and it's been such a fun journey to kind of like watch my progress and kind of figure out what it is that I like to make and what colors I like to use, and it's just been so fun to discover all of that. And
does it change based on your mood, probably?
Oh, for sure, yeah, it changes all the time, and it's just been. I just love it. It's just I want to do everything. I want to do all types of art. I want to paint. I want to draw.
Don't you wish we didn't have to sleep, right?
Oh my gosh, it would be so amazing. But yeah, it really just has been so fun, and I just love it. So
well, it shows. It shows.
And yeah, I was so happy to be here today.
Oh,
this is right up my alley. I love painting. I love art.
So we heard of you through Al. And she's usually one of the talented people behind the camera here.
Yep.
And I said, I'd love to promote other artists and creative people. And she's like, my friend. So we're like, yep, let's get her number. So happy you were able to get here, because I'm sure you're very busy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And this was kind of perfect timing, too. It's just the way it all works out. My birthday's next week.
Aww.
We're making cake.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So this is your birthday cake, maybe,
this is my
from
birthday
us.
cake.
Oh, right.
So thank you.
Aw.
This is so fun.
Aw. So you can see I did grab my little round brush now.
Okay.
And I'm just looking at some of the different colors on the plate. So basically, it can get overwhelming if you think, oh, I'm painting cake on a plate with a fork. Don't think about that. Just zoom in, look at the shape. Just don't worry about what it is. I don't think you are. I can tell you're having fun. But, I think with adults, like I always say when you're painting, when I teach, I say, just pretend you're a 10-year-old kid, because adults are afraid of messing up.
Right.
So that fear stops them from trying or being creative, and they hold back. And as soon as I say, just make it your own, you're not going to mess up, no one's grading you, then you could just see they chill out, and then they have fun, and they mix colors and just do, whoopsie.
I lost something.
Oh, that's okay. And it just works out really well whenever you're just going with the flow and just let it evolve. As you can see, this one won't look like the one that I did before, and I'm trying, to make it just however it needs to be. Sometimes, even if you're working, say, from a photograph or a picture of something maybe that you took, you still have to adjust it when you're doing something that's 3D and you're making it a 2D painting. You don't necessarily paint what you're seeing, you paint what it needs, to give it a certain look or texture or shadows or highlights, because that picture is just a reference. It doesn't mean that you have to paint it exactly the same. So now what I'm doing is I'm grabbing all these little areas, and you can see the round brush fits right in here in between. This is the open spaces of the fork, and if some of them get a little bit too wide, I'll clean it up when I do the lighter. You can do a different color fork. You can make it any way you want. Okay, so now I came in. I did not clean my brush too much. I still want some of that blue in there because I don't want this to be too white. It's a little, it's a silver fork, but it's reflecting some of these colors from the
Right.
plate. So when I do this part, if I start, whenever you're use a round brush and you're trying to get a little point, anytime you use the small brush like this, if you wet it and then roll it like this,
Okay.
that gives you your little tip. Sometimes it gets spread out from having paint, and then when you start up here, just lightly touch. You can see how tiny I was able to get that. And then as I come
Right.
down, you just pull and then you press a little more, and then that'll get wider. Right. So I
right.
have that base in while I have my little brush. So to save time, that's usually what I do. Like, so I'm using this brush, certain colors. Then I'll group, what else can I use this on?
Okay.
It's just like a time saving kind of thing. So, okay, well, I can still do the little highlights on the plate. I can do, there's one here. There's one here because we have that lip. And then also some of these little highlights and reflections in the plate. Now I'm going to rinse the brush. I still want some of that white, but I want it to be thinner so that it's not as bold, and get that, let's see, the line of that layer in between. I don't want it to be white. I want it to be just like it's more like a blue. And I'm going to just kind of do something like that.
Okay.
And then I'm pulling it with my finger. If you can put gloves on or not use your finger if you don't want to. You can just use the brush. I use my finger a lot whenever I'm painting. And then you can see, so that these little reflections are not white, even though in our mind they're white, but they're really not. If you look close, they're more of a gray blue. And then we have, let's see, a little bit here, and then some little bit of, I'd say, I'll take some of the pink and wet the pink, so it's pretty thin. And I'm going to lay some of that in there. I might have to come back to this too, but get that in there. I feel like I lost that a little bit. And there'd be, whenever you're doing reflections, whether it's water or anything, if you do some vertical strokes and while it's still wet, that helps. A little bit sideways and then vertical too. Still need some work. I'm gonna let this, I have them here. So you can see I lay them down. Now if they're straighter, I just go like this, and that just, when you smudge it a little bit. All right, for the background, I am using the orange, but I want this to be, I want it to be a little bit brighter than the cake. And I still have to highlight the cake. So I'm going to mix some, little bit of yellow, a little bit of white.
Okay.
You can do your background any color. You can leave it pink if you want. You can, again, it's your creation. So I'm going to do that. I think. Sometimes I change my mind, threw in a little bit of the hot pink too. And I'm coming in, well, see, that's not even showing up. So I definitely need more. The pink is very bold, but I think it is fun. Like you said, it's just fun to let it peek through, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm just doing some different brush strokes here. And then we have, I figured if you like orange and yellow and these fun colors, I thought you might like polka dots.
Oh, of course.
I wasn't sure, so I thought, well, we have to do some polka dots.
Oh, there you
right?
go.
So
I love it.
I think that was your pencil that fell. I can get that.
I can use the back of one of these brushes.
Yeah, you can.
Make it work.
You can. You can use mine too if you want.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We can share.
We can share.
Yep. Okay, so I'm just coming in here. Not worried about this background being smooth. You can even do something like this. You can do swirly shapes. You can, whatever you feel like. There's
All right.
I do want to come in though a little bit closer to the flower. I want this to be a little more of a contrast between the flower. I have to outline it a little bit, but I do want to take away some of that pink so that the flower will pop. And it's a little darker over here. Okay. I kind of like the swirly thing happening in there maybe. And now I'm going to work on the details on the cake. And then the other thing I like to do too, which brings paintings, makes it a little more cohesive, is to repeat the color. So there's a lot of orange in the bright up top. There's really none at the bottom. I don't have this on the painting. I do have the orange polka dots, but I just feel like I'm going to clean my brush off and just, again, this is just what I'm doing. I just feel like I just need a little bit of that orange down here.
Okay.
So, again, you do whatever you want. This is the fun part. I mean, the putting in the shadows and the highlights, because right now it's flatter, right? And you can see that's why the shadows and highlights are important.
Right.
Because it's flatter. Dark colors recede, so this feels like it goes back in, right?
Right.
Light colors pop. So right now we want this icing. We want this is the brightest corner. We want this to come forward, so we add the lighter.
Okay.
We want these petals. You see the tips of them are lighter. We'll put some darker down in here.
Right.
Any place you put a darker color, it recedes and then the light comes forward. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of just the yellow, because I want that lemon curd to really be a little bold, a little bright, right?
Right.
And then, is this going to make you want to go bake a cake? Huh? You said
Oh,
maybe?
absolutely.
In your free time, huh?
In my free time, yep.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Something like that.
Well, at least in the winter, it's probably fun to bake, right? It gets
Oh,
the house all
absolutely.
cozy and.
The snowstorm last week was actually my first big snowstorm.
Oh,
That's
ever?
my first time ever having
Oh,
to
really?
stay
Oh, really?
from like work or school. I never, I grew up in California. It doesn't snow out there.
Right. So what do you think? Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. I made a snow angel for the first time. I made a snowman.
Embrace it, right? You can't fight it.
Totally.
There's
I
nothing
was
you can
like,
do about
I live
it.
on a really steep hill too, so I was like, I'm up here and I'm just gonna have fun, and I did, and I actually baked some scones,
Aw.
and I baked some cookies. I really just had a fun time.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. So the trick around here on the slopes, what people do is they park the cars at the bottom, and then they walk up, because I actually, we met someone years ago that lived back Arlington, and very steep slope, and he did not know that. So he got in his car and he proceeded to drive in the snow down the hill, and it started sliding. So he bailed. He jumped out. He ended up passing up his own car, and the car almost he got in front of the car. He moved, so, and then it just went down the rest of the hill and bounced off of everybody's cars.
Really?
And-
Wow.
yeah, so he jumped out, but
Well,
then
my
that's when
dad
he
taught me a
learned.
trick going down hills, put the car in neutral,
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and you go straight.
it does help, but if you're on ice,
No, ice doesn't
yeah,
work on anything.
I think
yeah.
it was he jumped out, and it just, and then I think his insurance company. Were
Thanks for
like,
sharing that
Yeah.
story, and he lived to tell about
He
it.
did, but then the insurance company said, if you're still living there, we can't give you insurance. Still.
No
So,
way.
Yeah, they wouldn't cover him because I guess
No
they were afraid.
way,
Well, plus he
yeah.
almost ran himself over with his car.
Yeah, that's true.
But he was okay. He was okay.
That's
that's
the best
what-
part about it.
But that's what everyone does around here. They just park at the bottom. All right, so now you can see how this is coming to life, right?
Oh,
I'm
total-
taking
oh, I
the
love
white,
it.
and it's icing, so maybe it's not real smooth. I don't know. And I'm just taking the tip of my brush, the pure white, and I'm popping it on the left side of the drips of icing, right? And then down
Right.
here.
Whoa, I like that.
And then we'll do the shadow too, and that will also make it come to life. And then again, keep it all on the left side of the drips. And then let's see here, and maybe a little sparkle. Oh, there's also a little piece of icing right here. And then we'll put a little shadow under that. All right, so that's our little highlights. And then let's grab, I also put a little bit of the yellow. You could see a little touch back here because
Okay.
it could be reflected
yeah.
light. Okay, and now I'm going to grab, I'm still using the same brush, but whoop, I forgot the edge of the cake too. I mixed orange with the white, and I just want to pop. Would it be white on the edge? No, but we need it to show up. So that's where, again, you just paint what it needs, not necessarily what it would have. Okay, so there's that. And let me tone that a little bit. And now I'm using the same brush. Now I'm going to mix a color. I'm starting with the orange. And I will take blue. And tone it down a little bit. You can use the violet or the blue. I'd say probably not the black because again it'll make it too dirty looking. So what we want is a deep, almost like a dark burnt orange, and what we're doing is coming right in here beyond the yellow of the drip, and we want to come on this right side, and I'm right in here and do these little shadows. So they're not perfectly straight because the icing isn't straight. And then what you want to do is make sure you have right at the bottom of this strip, it will come beyond like a little further down because the light source is here, so it's going to cast that shadow. And then here, okay, and then we have, and you could see it's making that pop a little, right?
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then let's see here. Okay, and then this one, the one in the back is a little darker because again, it's in shadow, more shadow. Okay, everybody's getting into it, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm focused.
No. Okay. And then as you go, if you feel like it needs something else, then that's where you can tweak it, highlights and shadows. This is where you get to the point where it's just highlights and shadows, and that's what brings it to life.
Oh, it's really coming to life now.
Yeah.
This is the fun part.
Yeah, it is. And then you can see here, you'd have that shadow under here. Now we need to get that little shadow on the right side of our little drip. I'll clean these up. So the violet too, I'm using just straight off of the palette. It's very dark, but it's just nicer than the black. Just keeps it like a little warmer or something. Okay. So now let's see, I need to work on the flower. So I'm still using that same round brush. I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take some of that red. We barely used it. You really don't even have to use any red, but we did use the red in there. Taking the red, I'm going to tone it with the violet, add a little bit of water, and I'm coming in, twirl the brush, get that little point, and coming in and just coming in around and adding some shadow on the underside of these petals, and then maybe a little in between. Okay. Grab a little here, and then also maybe some in toward the center. So if you come in around that little center and then pull up, maybe give you a little, you could feel like that's deeper in the center, right? Because again, the dark colors recede. And maybe that, let's see, a little darker here. And then just the little highlights on the petals because they are, okay, the shadows. So we want to, right now all of my petals look pretty much the same. I'm going to grab my little filbert. I'm going to put the bright orange on them a little bit here. I feel like these might be a little bit lighter because of the light source. The other thing I do, Katelyn, that helps with painting, maybe, I don't know with your cakes if it would help or not, but I'm always paying attention to light sources, right? If you're sitting, I don't know if you do that as an artist. I feel like we tend to notice maybe things like that. I don't even know if we even we plan to do it. It just happens, I guess. Because you're looking at things differently, maybe.
Right.
So I'll, if I'm sitting somewhere and there's a light source coming in, like, oh, okay, where's that coming in? If I was painting that, where would I put my shadows? Or, and that's how you learn too, is just by paying attention to things like that.
Right.
It just helps. If I'm sitting at a light, a lot of times the traffic lights, the greens, they're all different color greens. Some have more yellow in them, some have more blue in them.
Wow.
Oh, I look all the time. I'm like, okay, I always I always think, well, how would I mix that color? Well, that green light, that definitely has more yellow in it, and this one definitely has more blue in it. So I do things like that too. It just kind of trains your eye or something maybe.
Right.
Usually on a painting, if it's a landscape, or even like something like this, if this was outside, if you look at the angle of the light,
Right.
that maybe this was like 1 or 2 o'clock because you know where the sun is, you know, so that it just, I don't know, I just find it interesting to kind of be aware and pay attention
That's
to that.
very interesting.
Well,
yeah.
it helps me when I'm painting. Again, I'm still learning, but
Right.
I have a friend that painted a barn one time, and he was set up at one of the shows near us, and I said, Barry, was that like around 3 o'clock? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm learning about where the sun is and where the shadows are. And he said it was like around 3:30 where he took the photograph, and that was just the angle of the shadows. That's all.
Wow.
So anyway, it's just one of those things that helps when you're especially if it's from your imagination too, and you're trying to figure out where to put something. You just figure out your light source.
Right. And I think that's kind of the difference between like doing painting versus like sculptural stuff like cakes or ceramics. Is
Right.
The light source just happens naturally because it's 3D.
Exactly. And then you could do whatever. Right. But if you took a photograph
Right.
of that, right, you'd have a light source.
Yeah.
So-
that's really interesting to think
Yeah.
about.
I don't know. It's just my brain won't stop. You know.
No, I
It's just
love it.
always. All right.
No, I appreciate it. Carry on.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm just tweaking it. I'm going to do some little polka dots in the background. 'Cause you got to polka dots. Why not, right?
Of course.
And then I'm just taking my blue color again, and I feel like I need to put that a little bit here. So now like I said, I'm at the point where I'm just hitting it. Some lights, some shadows. I could probably spend another hour on this, but we don't have that. So I need a little dark, whoops. Need my big brush for that. So when I did this edge, I did use the flat shader. It's easier to make a line. If I used a little brush, my hand would shake and it would be all crooked,
Okay.
but if you use this big one, you just lay it down and pull it. Maybe a little bit darker there. And a little bit darker here. And again, then your little reflections, you can work with that as much as you want. You don't have to put too much in, but let's see, maybe here. I like that little drip of the icing though, right? It's the little
Oh, yeah, I
fun
have to do that.
fun things. All right, I feel like I need to stop on this, like, and then that's the other thing too. Sometimes you have to stop and like look back, you know,
Right.
stop looking at something and then go back to it. Then you see it a little differently.
Right.
And okay, so the polka dots, the pencil eraser, they make good polka dots.
Okay.
I'm doing yellow, if you want to do them, and I'm using. So they'd make big ones. And like you mentioned, I could tell you've done that before, right? The back of a paintbrush
Yep.
makes great dots. They would make different sizes if you wanted smaller. These I want pretty big. I think I'll take your tip and use the back of the brush for down below. I feel like I want them maybe to be smaller down below. You can use that if you need it.
All right.
I'm going to take this one. I'm going to do orange dots at the bottom just to get a little bit more of my orange. And then I feel like I just need to, highlight shadows. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. In between the layers where this icing or frosting is, we need a little bit of a shadow in there. So you could take the orange again, the dark, with the little brush, make it thin and get my little point. See right here? We need a little bit of a shadow.
Oh,
You see
okay.
how that?
Oh, yes.
And I'm not making
yes.
a line. I'm just doing some little dots because it would be like cake.
Right.
Cakey, right? And then there should be a little bit of a shadow here. But it's all of those little things that bring it to life. Like I said, you could spend, hours on something like this, but
Right.
We don't have that kind of time. We got businesses to run and things to do, and people to meet, and
Oh, for sure. I
Right?
can't believe we got this done in 40
yeah.
minutes. This is
25
amazing.
now.
25, yep.
Just kidding, just kidding.
Wow.
Okay.
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 All right.
All right. March. Okay. Okay, we are back to reveal our cake inspired by Katelyn.
Thank you so much, Maria. I was intimidated by it, but I made it.
Oh, you did a great job. You did too. You're natural for sure.
This was so
Could
much
tell.
fun. I
You
learned
are
so
a painter.
much.
You slipped in, painter.
Oh man, I want to paint again. I'm inspired.
No,
Yeah.
You did great.
fantastic
And I'm
job.
hungry for carrot cake,
I
no
know,
matter
me
how
too.
you make it.
Yeah, we need carrot cake now.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. We look forward to coming back to your place, and make sure you check out in the credits. You'll find all our information. You have social media information, links, and it's just a fun, awesome community.
Say the name so
space.
they know.
Yep, Dad's Dog and Burger over in Bloomfield. Come in for a burger, hot dog, fries, onion rings.
Thank you, owner.
Yep.
Some chatting with some and Pittsburghers are friendly. Plus,
Oh,
you
yeah.
probably get people in there from all over. Maybe.
Oh, we get everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
get people from all over the place. A lot of students too. We're really
Oh,
close.
Well,
to,
you got
we're close to
colleges
Pitt.
nearby.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
Oh yeah, something like that. No, yes, definitely.
Well, you're from Cali, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and see you next time, hopefully. Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Okay.
Thank you so much.